All right. Well, we'll get back to the previously recorded program shortly, but Harbaugh got fired. So I feel like we got to squeeze that in. It happened after we recorded the very fun episode you're going to hear with Marcus Spears and Jeff Saturday. Then I went to dinner with Marcus Spears, and Charlie texted me, like, hey, John Harbaugh got fired. So when you get home, let's record something. So we're here now. Let's record something.
Dinner at 5 p.m.
It's late, man. I'm old. I know it's funny to make fun of me for being old because dinner at 5, it was 5:30, to be clear. But I got up at 5:30, so, I mean, this is bedtime. Bedtime.
That's actually reasonable. No. It's reasonable. What's unreasonable is you making me wear this Domonique Foxworth show hat that doesn't.
I'm not making you wear anything. You can do whatever you want, but
I'm a sensitive guy, and
no, you wear those stupid hats from other shows, and it's so disrespectful. Jeff Saturday wouldn't stand for it, so why should I?
I'd wear a Jeff Saturday hat for sure.
We're supposed to be on here talking about Harbaugh. The only reason why I'm still awake right now and not
so what do you think about this? You played for John Harbaugh. The Ravens might be the most appealing coaching job to come open in a long time. So what do you think about this move? What does it indicate? What was the Harbaugh experience? How appealing is it to go coach Lamar and the Ravens, who have been one of the premier programs in the NFL for 25 years and one of the premier programs really for the last 7 years?
I think anybody who is like close enough to it, like I've been hearing all this stuff for a while. Well, at least for this season. So I would say I was shocked but not surprised, if that makes any sense. Like, it seemed like something that could happen, but also it's still like he's been the coach there for 19 years. So, and he's won a Super Bowl. You normally take some time before you do something like that. The idea that he didn't move on his own was surprising. I think we had all kind of heard about the tension between him and Lamar, and then we saw Lamar's comments post-game, which didn't seem to be like a great vote of confidence. So ultimately they made a decision that I think it's justifiable, but it's still surprising. And we've always had this conversation, and I played for Harbaugh, but I don't think that it's inconsistent for me to say that, like, I kind of always am on the side of less risk. So, like, it's still somewhat surprising, but if there's the tough thing is this team has been good enough to win a championship for, I guess, since Lamar's second year as a starter, right? And they haven't yet. And so, like, it's hard to look at that and say, like, the coach or somebody hasn't been disappointing. So I'm not surprised by it. I think the funny thing is they both become the most desirable options on the market. I know today on our show, on Get Up, Graziano mentioned that Miami was going to stay with Mike McDaniel. He's like, unless something happens in the coaching market. So, like, I think that there might be some coaches who were safe who won't be safe if the owners or the team's president calls Harbaugh's agent and asks Harbaugh, is he interested? I think there are some other people who survived who would no longer be safe. I think Aaron Glenn's job could be on the block. I think
we have
Steichen and with the Colts, job could be on the block in Miami. Anyway, what are you about to say? You got some more information?
We have reporting from I guess it's not even reporting. It's from Steve Weiss, who said that Harbaugh and I assume Giants, this is coming off of the report about the Giants being the top suitor for John Harbaugh, was saying that John Harbaugh is the type of coaching candidate who, like Liam Cohen last year, could choose to get the GM replaced. And that's significant because the Giants earlier today announced they're going to keep Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen has been much embattled through and somehow survived these processes. But that's when you said that about like coaching being like, he might go in there and bring his own GM.
He should. Like, I think that there's probably three roles that really matter for you to head coach. One's the GM, the other's the quarterback, the other's the owner. You can't change one of them, and the other two you may be able to change, and they're very important to your success. So, like, I think the best situation is when the GM and the head coach are aligned. So whether it's the GM being the leader in that situation, which I think looks like what Philly has, or it's the head coach being kind of the leader, which looks more like what San Francisco has, it doesn't really matter. I get more concerned when you hear about like the Falcons, who are running two separate coaches and sounds like they're going to try to mush GM and a coach together that are not necessarily aligned. I feel like you follow one person's vision and let them make the decisions and go forward. You disagree with that?
No, the Falcons thing is like that's its own offshoot thing, because the consultant they hired, Rick Smith, was the runner-up candidate to Terry Fontenot in the last GM search, and then fired Terry Fontenot. So I have a feeling he's going to hire himself as the GM. But that's a whole separate bag of worms. It just popped into my head. But
he was on some of the Broncos staffs when I was there a long time ago. He's been around forever, and Texans too. I think he spent some time down there. So like it's not like just out of nowhere, but yeah.
But all right, so like here's the brass tacks. Is this surprising? Not really. I thought the silence was deafening from the organization last night. A day ago. We're recording this on Tuesday. I thought the fact that there was no vote of confidence yesterday was very telling. And they're probably looking for the right wording on this. We had the report that it came down to him being refusing to move on from Todd Monken. We also had there's the rumors and speculation that Lamar had issues with Todd Monken for the better part of this season, and that the relationship was fractured. And Lamar's getting paid $55 million. He's won 2 MVPs. He's one of the 10 or 12 best quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. In a power struggle like that, the guy's not 30 years old. He was going to win. He's going to win, and he should win, because it's the rarer asset. That's not to say that John Harbaugh, Super Bowl coach, couldn't go anywhere and win another Super Bowl and get a gold jacket, because that's very much on the table for him. They could both be gold jacket guys. But in this situation, you go with the franchise quarterback. You don't want the situation that could have been looming from the Mike Preston article, they will break up with Lamar Jackson, where he ends up on the Falcons, and you're looking at him handing the ball to Bijan Robinson and throwing the ball to Drake London and Kyle Pitts and being like, what have we just done? What, like, quite frankly, even if this next iteration doesn't work out perfectly, you avoided that one. And that might be the most important thing for what you say, which is organizational stability, which is not looking like Boo Boo the Fool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could make the argument either way. I think Lamar, obviously, it seems foolish to argue that there was any other decision to be made. If you could not have a conversation, if it really came down to a me or him situation, and Todd Monken was the breaking point for John Harbaugh, then it's kind of unreasonable to have any decision that is not, and you can't talk it out or figure out, but have any decision that is not with the top of the league quarterback seems kind of absurd.
It seems absurd, but I will say, and I'm not doing this to be anti-player, but I also think that there's 2 sides to that too, which is that Harbaugh is at minimum a very good head coach who's very responsible, and probably him being like, I'm letting my quarterback decide that we're going to move on from our excellent offensive coordinator. Like, that's not someone who that's not a decision I want to give to Lamar Jackson. And like that being his breaking point, while it might seem illogical, it's a give a mouse a cookie type of thing, where it's like, I can't do this.
Don't get me wrong. I'm saying that the organization, the team, made the decision that seems obvious.
Yeah, right.
If this is the way that it played out, like, I respect what John Harbaugh said and did. I mean, I think that is probably part of the reason why this organization was or is one of the best cultures in football. It's like there is some sort of like adherence to some level of like responsibility and control. Is like, this is what we do. This guy has success, we'll keep him. Doesn't mean it's right, but like, I do think they obviously haven't won as many Super Bowls as other teams, or as the Chiefs obviously come to mind. But like, I don't know. I guess it's hard to have these declarations because like, I obviously always kind of lean towards the pro player side.
Yeah.
But I also could see I could understand why an organization will make the decisions that they will make. But like, we get bits and pieces of information, and the only information that we get is information that someone has shared with us for a reason. So like, I get I want to come on here and have, like, especially being a guy who played for the Ravens and grew up in Baltimore, I want to have, like, some definitive, like, opinion of, like, yeah, they made the right decision. They made the wrong decision. And ultimately, we're not in the building. We'll find out as the result of this. But, like, I could easily make an argument for either side of his decision, but it requires me to fill in a bunch of blanks that I don't have the answer to.
It's beyond that. Lamar is one of the most reclusive, like, star football players we've had in a long time. And I know football is not basketball. You don't know as much about these guys, but he's a quarterback. He's a multiple-time MVP, and, like, he just doesn't give us much in the media, which is awesome for him. I'm sure his life is way better for that. But for us understanding, like, his intentions or his motivations on anything, we just don't have the information. Like, we get bits and pieces. You hear rumors, but you don't know anything else. I will say, if it doesn't work with the next coach there, like, that will be a very surprising with how well that organization is run. That I don't think that will fall on the organization. That will fall on what people think about Lamar in the court of public perception, fair or unfair.
Yeah, I do appreciate and respect if it is, like, we're making this a leap that it seems like most people are, like, insinuating that this was, like, somewhat on Lamar. This decision was somewhat, at least if it wasn't made by him, it was motivated by him.
Yeah.
I respect the idea that I think one of the things that, particularly with quarterbacks, but I guess it's true of any player, is, like, your career is so heavily influenced by the coach that you have. And when you have the power, it just feels like, because John Harbaugh was a coach there for 19 years. He's going to go coach somewhere else for 10 more. Like, players, the life cycle is not as long. So, like, if you're talented enough and your legacy or whatever, your place in this game is going to be determined by your, I don't know, for quarterbacks, your 8-year prime, I don't know what it is, then I don't know. Like, I would hate to feel like my prime, I have to trust my prime to a coach or coaching staff or a coordinator that I don't believe in.
Yeah.
So,
especially
hopefully whoever they hire next, and yeah, like, the powered organization, it does feel like it's going to shift. And that's an organization that's never really had a quarterback like that. And they paid Joe Flacco. He won a Super Bowl. But in the entire history of the organization, they had, like, superstar linebackers and safeties and pass rushers. They've never had a quarterback like this that is this talented, deserves the power, and takes the power. So we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson.
Of course.
Lamar's gonna be unanimous first ballot Canton guy. And that's it's very unique.
Retired today, he's going in first ballot.
Yeah. What do you think about the reports that they could be interested in Cliff Kingsbury to run that offense?
Yeah, I mean, to run the offense or be the head coach.
Unclear with the way the chapter worded it. I thought that was very unclear.
Yeah, I mean, well, Cliff won't have to move that far, which would be nice for him from D.C. to Baltimore. But, like, I don't know, like, this. Lamar has to buy in. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
It's like,
scheme-wise, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
with the pieces, not just with.
How does it not? Yeah, go ahead.
It's just like tempo, the horizontal passing game with the guys they got with the tight ends and Zay Flowers and stuff like that, like Keaton Mitchell and Rasheen Ali and, like, those guys. Like, a lot of the skill guys and the offensive line deficiencies they had in the inside are actually kind of, like, would be masked by some of the stuff that Cliff did in Washington with Jaden Daniels. I'm not saying he's the right coach or anything like that. It's just, like, it was an interesting name. That was the first one that bubbled to the top because, like, if Lamar buys into that, like, they could be really creative on offense and have a totally different way of playing than they ever had with Greg Roman or Monken.
Yeah, if Lamar buys in, that's the definition. I mean, that's the answer to any question about who comes in, is like, if Lamar buys in. And I assume that he bought in when he put up ridiculous numbers the last couple of years with Todd Monken. I don't know whatever the friction or pressure point was with that relationship, but, like, Lamar's so good. If he believes in something and he's healthy, it's going to work. So, like, I'm more interested in how they fill out the rest of the staff, and they've been so stable for so long. There've been so few changes. It's been forever, I guess. Yeah, it's Brian Billick was the last time that they had to like overhaul a staff. Like they made changes here and there with coordinators and position coaches and whatever, but they've never had a new staff come in. They haven't had a new staff come in forever. Like this has been so stable. And I think like Zach Orr he wasn't having the success that they wanted, but I think he was like in line at some point. So this is a real turning point for this organization. So we talk about how well they're run, how stable, and like how Ozzie has been there since they entered the league, and he's still working there as a consultant. And it feels like a definite power dynamic shift. It's going from where the team has the power to the quarterback has the power, and we'll see what happens from here. Which I'm not sure. You look around the league, how many? I guess there are other places where quarterbacks could have the power, but they don't, and they don't exercise it in a way that feels public, if anything.
It doesn't feel like any other quarterback has the amount of power that Lamar has in the NFL right now.
Yeah. All right. Let's have some fun with Jeff. And unless you have something else. You have something else?
No, that's it.
All right. Have fun with Jeff and Marcus.
Camera freaking loves me, dog.
Better not let that black man be the first man.
No.
First thing show up on this camera.
Look at them blue eyes. That's what it's saying.
Off top.
Play the music.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.
All right, welcome to the Domonique Foxworth Show. I'm Domonique Foxworth. This is going to be a special show, a sloppy show, but a fun show. So I got two superstars in me and two mics. So the sound might not be great, but it just so happened that we normally do this with Jeff. But guess who's in town?
What's up, y'all?
Swagoo in the building.
Let's
go, Swagoo!
This is the Not Give a F crew. That's our name for the group.
We did not anticipate having a show like this, so I got a rundown. I'm going to try to stick to the rundown. No, I'm not. It's
Man. Rundown.
We already started talking about old stories about playing defense and Jeff trying to learn defense while being a coach.
While being the head coach of the Colts.
Can we take a second to... So
let me say this.
We
let me
never
just tell the
talked
audience.
about that.
Let me tell the audience. Let me tell the audience this. This is the first start. The first start is you don't realize how hard freaking defense really is. Straight up. I'm sitting in them meetings, y'all, and I'm thinking, and we as offensive players always like dumb it down. They're like, man, there ain't but so many ways to play 4. I mean, God, they're going to play 2. What, are they going to give us a little man cover? No. You get in these meetings, man, with motion, with anybody moving, with guys switching out or exploding in formations, all the different moves and calls of defense. I was blown away.
And coverages change based on the routes that are run. Like number 2, we could read number 2. But it's funny because we're coming off, this is a good topic, coming off of like we don't call it Black Friday or Black Monday no more. We don't call it Black Monday. It was a couple of years ago. It's a couple of years ago that Monday was all black. I don't know. Well, anyway, coming off of Black Monday.
Get your fired day.
Everybody got fired. And the reason why I said this is interesting is because people keep saying that there's no good candidates out there. It's just because you got offensive bias.
Exactly.
Jesse Minter, that guy can coach. Give him a shot, right?
Yes.
And you look at the best coaches in football right now, all the guys in the playoffs and all the guys that have been really good, like a lot of them come from defense. And just because there ain't no quarterback whisperers out there, Stefanski got fired top of the list because he coached quarterback.
Brian Flores, he ain't at the top of the list. Give me a break, dog. He got fired because he wouldn't lose on purpose. You're like, really? Is that where we are in the NFL?
It ain't just us in the media. The league do it too. Why the hell Raheem got fired? After finishing the season like he did, bro. Like, we all know, I say it like this all the time. Phil Jackson ain't got no damn banners hanging up with Michael Jordan and Kobe not by his name.
Amen.
And in football, that's your quarterback.
Yeah.
I was surprised that of the coaches the black coaches that got let go, that Aaron got to hang around, man. That 1 year, that was a rough 1 year.
Bro, Aaron was awful. I love AG, former teammate. That was awful.
Bad.
Bruh.
Big bad.
Listen, now, again, it's a franchise that I think this is what I think. I think because he came from Detroit and it was as bad like that the first couple of years, the Jets probably and the brass was probably like, All right, he's been a part of a
That's
real rebuild.
That's right.
Right now, they in similar situations.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of draft picks.
Yeah.
They did a wholesale during the season.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, like, now, this it.
Right.
You know how your parents used to tell you, I ain't going to tell you no more.
Yeah.
This is Aaron Glenn, I ain't going to tell you no more yet.
But let's be real. Like, situations aren't all the same. Like, Mike Vrabel going to the Patriots with Drake May already there, bringing in Josh. Like, there's a lot of things in pieces in place. And then they were allowed to spend $100 million going into – turns that franchise around, right? And Mike's already a great coach. I'm not trying to, but that was that setup. Then you take Liam Cohen, who goes down and gets Trevor Lawrence, who we all talked about being a generational guy. Now, he had not been to that point, but he had a dude at the spot and coached the daylights out of him. You go to Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson. I'll say this about Aaron Glenn. He lived through Detroit where they won 3, then they won 7, then they won 9. And I remember talking, when I was coaching, Dan Campbell, one of the guys I actually talked to, and I remember him telling me, he's like, Saturday, they wanted to move my house out of the area. People hated me. They wanted me done. I won 4 games in a row, and I could have owned Detroit. You know what I mean? He's like, it's that thing. But he's like, it took me 4 years, 3 or 4 years to get this. So AG, this team, the Jets are terrible. And to think that they're not, you've lied to yourself. Yeah. And so give him time.
I don't know what you thought you was going to get out of that.
And you got no QB.
None.
Like, what? I don't even know what your.
So again, like you look, man, kudos to the Jets for making that decision.
Yeah.
Like,
agreed.
They at least acknowledged that they was.
Because you can't turn it around. Man, I don't care if it's Bear Bryant, bro. Like Vince Lombardi, whoever you want to go, Nick Saban. Nick Saban would have walked in there and they'd have got their head beat in again. Like they were not equipped to go win. That's just a fact.
And so the litmus test too is Ben Johnson in Chicago, right? We focus on the relationship with Caleb Williams. People don't realize how much work that team did in free agency. And we don't talk about it because the quarterback has played better and the head coach is an offensive guy. That was a retool in Chicago.
2 great backs, 2 or 3 great receivers. They draft the freaking other tight end to help commit to get Loveland in there.
Offensive line work. Like, now they can't rush the passer for but again, now you address that, right?
Exactly.
So what's the situation? So I feel like we all knew last year, and Ben Johnson was the best, the highest rated, I guess, candidate. And so he went to a good situation. So we knew that was the spot that had a chance to bounce back. Of the vacancies that we have, I'll read them to you. Which one do you think is the most attractive one that could turn around? So it's the Cardinals, Vegas, Giants, Browns, Titans, Falcons. So that's Arizona Cardinals, Las Vegas Raiders, New York Giants, Cleveland Browns, Tennessee Titans, Atlanta Falcons. I already know what Jeff gonna say.
Ain't even close, man. The Falcons by a mile. First of all, they're 8-9. They got hot at the end. They got a good offensive line. They got 2 good backs. They got receivers out the wazoo. They got a good tight end. Their defense turned it around. I mean, you drafted well on the defensive side. I know they fired everybody, but good.
Like whoever,
whoever walks in there, they got a real deal, man. 8-9. Then they finish up 8-9, and you're in Atlanta where you're playing the NFC South.
I was just about to say.
My word, like I'm gonna tell you right now, but you better get gamed up for some of them other jobs. Bro.
What y'all think about Malik Willis?
I love him. I hope he's a Colt. That's what I hope. I hope he's a Colt.
How many quarterbacks y'all want?
I hope he's a Colt. We ain't got none.
Yeah,
we got an Achilles out the door. We got an eye that can't get right.
You don't think Daniel Jones is gonna be back?
Do you think Daniel Jones is gonna be back? He been hurt every year of his career, and this is now Malik. Come on, be ready.
The Malik Willis thing. So like, I'm high on Malik Willis. I think it's exciting and interesting, but it's also like it's small sample.
For me, it's
against
also
some
like
bad
it's in Matt Flynn.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's a small sample size against some bad teams, or not bad teams that don't have a pass rush.
Now here's what I will say:
LaFleur goes to Atlanta and takes Malik with him.
How'd you get LaFleur fired?
Because no, he's up. They ain't redone his deal. Yeah, LaFleur's up after this year, right?
That's new information.
I think he's up.
But I will say this, dog. Malik Willis at least is in that vein of the quarterbacks that's having success.
Oh, he's playing good, bro. He played good ball.
And competency matters, right?
Absolutely.
Because one thing I did, let me make a confession. It's a beautiful time to do it because I'm with people that I trust.
We like confession.
Trevor Lawrence, I've been hard on Trevor Lawrence. And it's because of what I saw in college.
Yeah.
And it's because of what I thought he was going to immediately be. Trevor Lawrence gave a deal in Jacksonville when he first got there, bro.
For sure.
Like, it was awful. And I acknowledged at the time that Urban Meyer was probably the worst thing that ever happened to the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence for sure. But you look at this kid now and the way that he's playing. And yeah, the football is the football. Every throw that Trevor Lawrence has made this year, every play that he's made this year, I've seen him do it before.
Yeah.
I ain't ever seen his attitude like this.
Oh.
And that's what a great coach does.
Yes.
Right? So with all of the X's and O's that Liam Cohen brought, he changed the mental makeup of the quarterback.
Amen.
And I think that's the difference. Baker may feel the same way in Tampa.
Yep.
Right? Because, look, bro, these dudes, sometimes we hard on quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Y'all know we are. But sometimes, bro, these dudes are in such a bad situation from a support standpoint. And Troy said something, Aikman, on Monday Night Countdown about more franchises fail quarterbacks than quarterbacks fail the franchise. And when you look at it that way, you realize, like, ain't Trevor Lawrence, this is Trevor Lawrence. This actually is who he is.
I'm about to hit y'all with something. So when I was coaching, I was done, and Irsay's like, hey, run for the full thing. Just do your stuff, because I told him, I'm coaching 8 games. I'm out of here, man. I'll give you a report on who should be in the building, who shouldn't be in the building. We're doing all that stuff, right? Talking all that talk. I don't know if I've ever told. But I had to do I had to go find coaches. So you had to call coaches and talk to them and, hey, will you be interested in this? So I'm calling O-line guys. I'm calling defensive guys. I'm calling everybody. And at the time I thought Gus was going to stay, and that's what they wanted, right? And so the defensive side was going to kind of take care of itself. I called Liam Cohen. That was going to be my dude, bro. I was going to offer him. Let me just tell you, he was at Kentucky. He had left the Rams.
I remember he at Kentucky.
Went to Kentucky. I called Andrew Whitworth. I called him I was in the apartment in Indy, and I was like, I said, I'm going to make this last call. I called some other guys, some guys who had been around the NFL, been OCs, all that kind of stuff. And I called Liam Cohen. I told my wife, I was like, he is a freaking assassin, bro.
Yeah.
He has got dog in him. Yeah. And look, he didn't mind going back to freaking Kentucky. He was like, wherever I can be I'm going to be the dude.
I'm going to be the guy.
Like, he was the guy. And that was when he had the kid who went to Tennessee, the kind of big white guy who did all the yoga commercials.
Yeah.
Golly, the draft kid.
Girlfriend was at the draft, and they memed her.
The quarterback.
Tall. He lasted like 1-2 years.
Yeah.
He was
Will Levis.
Will Levis. Is that Charlie? That is Charlie sneaking in. Will Levis. That's Charlie. It. So he was coaching Levis. And he was but I'm gonna tell you, Combo on the phone was a real deal.
He was a real dude.
And Whit told me, Whit was like, hey man, he was a real dude and with the Rams.
You talk about like the situation failing the quarterback. Tom Brady in Vegas is a situation that they got the number 1 overall pick and they looking for a coach. They looking for a quarterback. They looking for a lot of things. And I'm sure Tom Brady is going to be good at this team man. Well, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
He's not good yet.
No.
Yeah.
And I have if I'm a coach, no thank you. If I'm a quarterback, well, they may not have a choice. That situation looks like it might be one of the worst.
He should go coach.
Yeah.
If he want to be involved, just go coach, Tom.
Can you imagine him calling plays, bro? He would be dialed in. He'd be like Philip Rivers.
I think
he's
he'd
like
be
all
too
them
emotional, though.
Oh, dude, they're first of all, they think everybody can do what they can do, and you can't. That's why I told Peyton years ago, I was like, bro, you can't.
Why you think these people can think like you did?
Right.
Bro? Like you went through everything you could possibly go through in football. Here's the thing with the Raiders. I really believe this. The Raiders are in a better position than the ones. You know what the worst franchise for me is? The gray area franchise. You either want that to be all the way broken, or you on the come up. Like Chicago was all the way broken.
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Eberflus, before that, they had cycled through first-round draft picks at quarterback that didn't work out. So Ben Johnson became a clear candidate, but Ben Johnson walked in knowing exactly what he needed to do. It's hard when you walk into gray. You know where it's gray right now?
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yeah.
That's gray.
Yeah.
All right, what are we getting rid of Kyler Murray?
That's right.
Are we going to keep him? And if we keep him, are we limited to what he does already?
Right. Of course.
Like, that's the great, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the worst.
Yeah.
I would rather us say, like Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn didn't get fired because they know it's awful.
That's right.
If they thought any sliver was like,
That's right.
he didn't get enough out of this team that we put together, then you in a terrible situation.
Arizona seems like a real bad job because you look around that division at the other coaches and the other teams.
But Foxy, but think about it, bro. you at least would have a direction.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
So the first question you ask as a head coach, and is Kyler going to be the quarterback?
Yeah.
And what if ownership say yeah?
Yeah, it's your guy.
I think so. That's during the interview process. It's they're gonna ask you, is Kyler gonna be your quarterback? And they waiting to find out what your answer is.
Yeah, but they on the hook.
But you know what? I'll tell you this, just from having the experience, it's really not like that. Like,
are you hearing big timers?
No.
I
want to hear the experience for real.
Like they already. I mean, as a coach, there are pieces and parts that you're going to be. But the reality is that decision's been made. Right. And like because of the financial constraints of where you are, they may look at you and go, "Hey, he gonna be part of the. Whether you start him or not start him, you can decide. But you better win without him."
See, that's what I think.
That's the issue.
I think that's the hardest position to be in as a coach.
Yeah,
I
think
you
got no conviction.
Yeah, I think with Aaron Glenn, it's like, bro, we knew this was gonna be bad.
Yeah,
like we knew it was gonna be bad. Everybody acknowledged it was gonna be bad, and we've given you a year. Now it was the year was the ugliest year I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It was as bad as I've seen it since I've been covering football.
It was awful.
But with that, they at least got a clear direction. They knew at the trade deadline, we need to offload these contracts and we need to rebuild everything.
Now, some suckers at Indy.
Dallas.
They did find some suckers.
Suckers, bro. Got us.
Hey man, y'all thought y'all was going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, give me a freaking golly.
That's what they said.
We keep talking about like how good a coach is, but I think it's always like the situation and all the things that go into it. There's so many variables into how it's going to work out, which like we talked about Vrabel and like they spent a bunch of money, but Vrabel wasn't coming there until he saw Drake May and they was like, Gerard Mayo, get your the hell up out of here. Like, you did your job.
But let's be real, right? Like when Jeff took the Indy job, in my mind, I was like, Jeff ain't got no damn business going coach no pro football. But what I will say is, and what I knew about Jeff was the message was going to be right.
Yeah.
And a lot of times as a head coach, bro, it's Josh McDaniels' biggest problem.
Yeah.
We all can acknowledge that Josh McDaniels can call offense out of his bro.
Vicious.
Like, just look what he's doing.
Yeah, he's savant.
But the message to the 53,
right,
as opposed to sitting in there with one guy, right, is matter. When we were getting ready to hire Edo at LSU, it was 99% no.
Yeah.
And I was on SEC Network saying these dudes will run through a brick wall for him.
That's it.
Which is exactly why, like, to the point about Jeff, is like, you can coach. There's a bunch of different ways to coach a team.
Yes.
There's one thing that you cannot substitute for. Like, you can't hire a connect with the players coordinator. Like, you can get an offensive coordinator, get a defensive coordinator, you get special teams. And that's why, like, Jeff could coach a team, you could coach a team. I couldn't coach no damn team. I can't connect with these people in that way. I can't connect in that way.
You can just connect with me and Jeff.
He's Harvard educated. He can't connect.
Nah, for real though.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this because this is real. When I got in the building and I got in the room, the first thing I told the coaches is you will walk circles around me as far as coaching, right? Like I would never pretend to put myself in any realm of what any of you do from the lowest level of coach, right? Like I can work to figure out what we're all doing. I'll sit in meetings, you can tell me what you need, I will go get. But the reality is the main job of a head coach is to keep the ears of the 53 and hire. Yep. And let me tell you, two things I felt comfortable. Like I told Jim, but when you walk in a situation like I did, you got no hiring. Everybody's out of the freaking building. General manager makes all the calls.
Yep.
Whoever's going to be your play caller, they decide. You don't decide anything, bro. You're basically just, you're standing there, bro, and you're trying to encourage players, encourage coaches, whatever it is. But the biggest indictment I can give guys is hiring. Yeah. Like you, that's the part to me. Stop hiring friends, bro, and hire people that when they walk in, they might not be like you, but there's enough in 100%. Them that you go, oh, hey, this guy, he'll get the most out of these guys.
I will say this, bro, and for people out there that don't know, me and Jeff we really cool with each other. We talk a lot. We talk a lot of life, bro. The way them dudes responded to you, I was like, Jeff might be the guy they keep in Indy. Now again. You know me. I'm gonna say what's on my mind. I was like, "What the hell are you doing?" But after seeing it, I was like, "Okay, I understand it." Because I never looked at the NFL from the prism of y'all know how delicate a locker room is.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes as a grown man, they just bringing back a former player. Right? Like, what the hell? He played for Indy here, Indy great, and they just want to bring him back because we in the middle of this awful situation. But you actually went in and changed the culture. Now, I got a question for him, Don.
Okay.
Did you know anything about Shane Steichen and he would end up when you were there? Was his name ever?
No. No. So when I got there, they had fired their offensive coordinator 2 weeks before, and they fired Frank the next week.
Mm-hmm.
So they had fired the two guys. So there were literally like 4 offensive coaches. Reggie was brand new. And I will tell you why they hired me. Literally, Jim, when he called me, he's like, we haven't had anybody in our building minus the O-line coach who's been here over 2 years.
Wow.
Most of their coaches, because Frank had hired all these guys, so they were all there like 16 months, 18 months. Like Gus and his whole defensive staff was there 4 months. Like these dudes had just come in. So he wasn't going to turn his team over. It didn't matter. Like he was just like, I need to find what's good in our building. That was his biggest concern was what's going on in our building. Why can't we get this right? Is it players? Is it, is it front office? Is it whatever? That was his biggest concern.
That.
Yeah, you can as a player, you can figure it out. Smelled quick. It out, right?
Yep.
And the thing about, I was joking about ability to connect with players. Not joking. I know you guys can do it, but like, and you hear this when you're around sports, but I think people take it for granted. And like whenever you do any other like interview process, you understand that you can't fool people about your authenticity.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing about the coaches is the coaches that I've been around, and it's like supervisors that I've had since I left football or coworkers that be honest with me. I may not like it, but you be honest with me. And I think the same thing is true about when you're in the locker room and you're like, there is an urge to sell yourself, which of course you're doing whenever you go into a locker room players and we see a bunch of coaches do these really terrible press conferences because they're trying to sell themselves. They're trying to play a character when what you actually need to do is like, look, this is how I see it. This is what you're going to get from me. This is who I am. And set the expectation for what it's going to be. And you don't got to be the funniest, the smartest, the toughest, the handsomest, the coolest.
I'm going to give coaches a nugget. All right. And this is something I knew Jeff would understand. That's probably why I'm a big former player guy when it comes to coaching.
Yeah.
Because we know the disconnect immediately.
Absolutely.
The disconnect is you guys are here for me to keep my job.
Mm-hmm.
We already gone.
Yeah.
Now, if you give a message saying, we going to be here as long as we here.
That's right.
That's completely different.
Yep.
And that's the part that I think a lot of former players have an advantage with.
Yeah.
Because we know when there's a disconnect from that staff to the locker room.
Absolutely.
Right? And you don't win like that.
No.
On any level.
Yeah.
That, I tell people all the time, you could applaud Nick Saban about his X's and O's and all of the history that he got and the winning that he's done. I never one time at LSU felt like it was the coaches and then us.
Right.
It was always like,
if
this ship falling, we all drown.
That's right.
Like, so again, that would be my nugget to coaches. And a lot of them make that mistake.
Yeah.
As to you subordinate.
Yeah.
You do what I'm telling you to do.
Right.
There is no direct line of communication. There is even no thought of if I come to you with something that may be better, you may implement that.
That's right.
Right? And we as players sometimes take the attitude like, bro, we out there.
Yeah.
We know what we could be doing
That's
better.
right.
When you got coaches that have that, you can win.
I mean, I get it. It's human nature though. Like where people are you're in this role as a coach.
Yep.
You're like, I'm supposed to be in charge. This is how a coach acts. You're in this role. Like this, I mean, this is life lessons in general where it's like, it's okay to open up. And to your point, the best teams that I've been a part of and the most like effective game plans have been ones that the players contributed. And it's a lesson that it took me retiring from football and going to work at the basketball union. It's a lesson that I learned there where it's like, I just came out of business school. We were coming up with a strategy for CBA negotiations. I went away for 2 months and studied all this stuff, came back with this airtight strategy and tried to pitch it like this gonna work. It don't matter if nobody believe in it. We come up with it together.
Yep.
We in this together. We all float. We all sink together. And I think that it like just speaks to insecurity. And that's why I think former players work sometimes as coaches is they don't feel inadequate in a locker room in a way that other coaches like, I was just a D2 coach.
And not saying it can't be done because we all know it. But
of course it can be done. But I think
it's immediate.
I think that their instinct is to go in there and like, I'm the boss. I'm in charge and like prove that I'm this and I'm that. When you really need to come in and be like, look, we in trouble, fellas.
Yeah.
We gonna get
that was our
out of here
problem.
together.
That was our problem at LSU with the former coach, Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
It was always a disconnect.
Yeah.
They not doing this well enough. That's why we're not winning.
Nah.
Bro, get the hell out of here, bro.
Yeah. But don't nobody want to hear that.
We in 2 days.
Yeah.
It's 190 degrees, bro. Like, now, again, and when you walk away, you're going to walk away with $90 million.
Yeah.
I might walk away without getting to the league.
That's right.
Right? So, again, I always think about it like this, bro. And this is why this job that we do is great. We talk all the time. By the way, America, Dom is my best friend. I called Dom, 3 weeks ago? I said, bro, I need a best friend. All right. Like, I need a best friend. And you going to be my best friend. I've touted you.
Already taken, Marcus.
Well,
hold on, Charlie.
No, it's
hold
enough.
Hold on.
Because this is my declaration to Jeff Saturday. Jeff is my new best friend. So now I got 2 outside of my boys that I grew up with. Right?
Like it.
But no, on a serious note, like-mindedness, bro.
Amen.
Like that works in every
business
area, every business. Bro, we've been here, I've been here 12 years at ESPN. I can't do the corporate bosses.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I just like the dinners and if that is going to turn you off,
right.
you don't need to be my boss.
Nope.
Right? Like, because if we sit down and we having a human conversation,
we chopping it up.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I've realized, and y'all two playing the game, championship teams, the players take over.
Amen. Amen, bro.
Like, it becomes about
it's you,
right? And I got to give credit to coaches that seem, because everybody know I played for Saban. Everybody know the one that I played for in the NFL, and it was only a couple years, was Wade Phillips.
Yo,
bro, Wade Phillips, and bro, we went to training camp and they was calling out training camp Cupcake.
Yeah,
because it just, everybody, it was right off Bill Parcells. Everybody was used to this brutal training camp that you just wreck your body.
Right.
And you get into the season, you have a great first 8 weeks, and downhill from there.
Yeah,
right.
Spiral.
We couldn't finish. Wade, we 13-3, 11-5. We got first round buys in the playoffs, all of that, right? Man had one bad season, they get his out of there because one of Jason Garrett.
Right.
And I'm not making a comparison to the coaches because I thought Jason had some really strong things about him too. Wade never gave the smallest idea that this wasn't about players.
Yeah. That's what you see out of, I'm not in there, but it feels the same way about D'Amico. It feels
the same way.
And I would say that we're players. So we come from the player perspective, and it feels like coming off of the coach's hiring and firing cycle, we're going to focus on that. I'd say from the other side that there's something to be said for as much as we all get excited about talent and ability, there's something to be said for guys who understand what we're talking about and behave that way. Amen. And I think that now I can be critical of myself in this way is when I got to college, I was like, team, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. And then I see the coach get a new car and get a deal extension, and I get a portable DVD player.
Yep.
And a little bit of that love fell off. Then I get drafted eventually, and then I go and they start talking about trading. It's a little bit. We handing out extensions. They went and traded for a corner, and I was like, oh. Y'all don't really, and so a little bit of that fall off. Eventually, I go to Atlanta and figure out I'm desperate in Atlanta, and then you lean in and you get a part of it. And then you go to Baltimore, you feel like what it's like to be a part of something. You understand that the culture is that. Yep. But I think that it's super easy for us to talk about what the coach is supposed to do. But it's also it's about attracting players who understand this. It's easier for some players. It's harder. And I feel like such an old man, because if I would have told this to myself at 24, I'd have been like, this old man is stupid and he don't know what is going on. Yeah. But it's it's the truth. It's that buy-in matters.
I'm going to say this.
We out here preaching old man.
Howard Mudd was my offensive line coach for a number of years. And I remember the first meetings that we ever had and he was a former player. He all-decades player, offensive lineman for the 49ers, played, had a great.
Mudd if you play.
He was for real, right? He was for real. And he would say, Mim, I'm a problem solver, and I'm here to make you problem solvers because you're the only one whose feet cross that white line. And so when you're out there, I want you to be able to solve whatever problems that we've already discussed. And that's my job, to help you be capable of doing that. Now, within that meant we all have roles. And this is how I want you to do it, because I know if it fails, what you've done wrong. If you're trying to do it your way and your right tackle's trying to do it his way and the left guard's got a different way, I'll never know how to fix you, right? So I got to move. But to your point about getting buy-in, he was like, I'm not trying to change. I'm trying to know so that when I watch it, I can say your hat's not in the right place. Your foot's not going right. Your flipper isn't where, the hat placement, the leverage, whatever it was. And he could give you these keys. He called them triggers. And right away, they would right the ship. But he was and he got the buy-in, because I was like, man.
It feels like, so this is the point that it seems so obvious. And I think that we might have lost some fans because they don't understand this dynamic. But it feels, in so many situations, it feels contentious between coach and player, where it's like a boss and an employee. But we all try to do the same thing.
We all trying to do the same thing.
If we play well, if you want money, you know what? We play well. We all get paid. If you want glory, you know what? We pay well. We play well. We all get glory. Like you want a new girlfriend, like you want to, like whatever it is that you want.
Where lies the problem with the franchise I played with.
Here we go.
In Dallas.
Yeah.
There's never a focus on the team.
Yeah.
And I just
can't win that way, man.
I tell people all the time, bro, like it is the worst way to try to lock in and win championships.
No chance.
Because you have layers, and you have a main layer that ultimately makes every decision. That if that player and that coach don't see eye to eye, but that player and that owner sees eye to eye, there's an immediate disconnect.
Yeah.
Because after too long of the coach not capitulating, Jerry.
Yeah. Got to go.
Brother, this dude ain't.
Right. Got to go.
You can never have that.
Nah.
And I tell people all the time, dog, like and when I say this, trust me, I want to see no one win more than the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I'm hard as hell on them. But I love
I feel you, bro.
The team, bro.
I feel you.
Like, I grew up in that culture. I played with dudes that blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah. Like, we would love to see Dallas win a championship. Amen. It's hard to be a former player of the Cowboys, though, because you realize, especially being in what we in, bro, just look at the franchises that's winning, bro, and do that.
Absolutely. And it's not a coincidence that the same ones, and I know we sometimes boil it down to like a special player here or there, but it's not a coincidence that the same teams are always well-run and competitive and committed and win with different types of things. But I want to say this other thing, because I think a lot of what we're talking about is super interesting and super helpful for any walk of life. But I think that it's like treetop, and I would say that one of the things that I learned is you have to like make your priority stack. Yeah. And like you might want to write it down, and it's for organization. And to make this stuff like base level and actually affect the team or whatever you're trying to use it for, you have to have any problem or any question or any dilemma, you go back and you look at your priority stack. What is most important to me? That hit me when you're talking about the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Because it's quite clear when they make their decisions.
Priorities.
It's like, is winning the number one priority? They've been really good for a long time. But it's clear that some of these decisions are like, ain't the number one priority. Mm-mm. And I talked about this a bunch back when we were at the PA, where it's like, everyone's like, the league hates the players. They don't want to be healthy. It's like, nah, that ain't true. Just players ain't the top of the priority stack. They like, all right, money. If we can keep you safe, we keep you safe. Right. But if there's and what happens is there are plenty of decisions that happen concurrently that don't impact each other. It's like, oh yeah, this is a safety decision. Yeah, safety decision. Safety. This is a money decision and a safety decision. Let's get another game, baby.
Well, that's why
Thursday nights.
Bro, that's why I'm always saying, bro, this is football. You can't prioritize safety. Yeah. The game is built for not being safe. Right? Now, equipment, trying to lower the impact, all of that. I think the NFL has honestly done a phenomenal job at that, right? Like they found every single parameter that they can try to find in order to try to keep guys safe. I had this conversation with them all the time. Bro, you can't. Yeah. Now, again, when you look at these percentages and they down, that is something to be proud of, right? Like that is something to hang your hat on and saying, look, man, we are keeping people as safe as we possibly can in a very, very violent game, right? Which is great. The other part of that too is this always been about money.
Absolutely.
It's a business.
Yeah.
Every player want to get paid.
Absolutely.
Every coach want to get paid. Every owner want to finish in the black after every season.
Right.
Every GM, everybody, right? The problem becomes when your priorities supersede the priorities. When you think your priority of making money is bigger than everybody else's.
That's right.
That's when Saban used to tell us this all the time. I'm probably more detailed than y'all as players. I'm probably more detailed. It's my job to be more detailed.
That's right.
But if those details that I'm bringing to you every day don't make you feel like you a better football player, when the game is happening and it's going to lead you to where you're trying to go, I'll never get you to play the way I need you to play.
That's exactly right.
The reality is when you in the NFL and there are 53 men on that roster, everybody want $100 million contract.
So, I think that you guys would be okay with this analogy. I'm hesitant sometimes when you make the parental analogy.
These
but
men's good at
Who they stealing them?
They always now.
Well, can't you?
There was
Chris, I apologize.
Trader Joe's. I grabbed some.
I mean, they are phenomenal.
I was gonna say that I had this conversation with my son not too long ago where I'm like, you can't do this right now. And he's like, why did it get upset? And I'm like, you think I want to regulate your screen time? Right. You think I want to stop you from going here? You think I care if you got your phone? You think I care if you have a TV in your room? I want you to be successful.
That's right.
I am doing this. We are working together. You want to support yourself at some point? And it's the same thing with a coach's relationship. It's like, to your point about what Howard Mudd said, it's like, look, I don't care how we do this. Let's be honest. And I think what coaches want to do, and it goes back to insecurity, and anybody, honestly, who takes over a leadership role, a lot of it is insecurity where they're like, I got the answers. I'm the man. You're going to respect me. You know what I respect? I respect somebody who know what they talk about and is honest and secure in themselves. It's so much easier if you're like, look, I don't know, man. Let's figure this out. Let's figure this out.
I got more respect for you.
And that's you showing respect for me.
Yeah.
We gonna figure this out. I respect you.
Instead of leading my down a dark tunnel and I'm about to get punched in the jaw.
And then there's stories in the media. I know that you leaking. There's stories in the media about how this player is slipping up.
That's why I went off like that about Lamar, bro. Yeah. And y'all know me, bro. I'm as much fun as we have on TV. Y'all know I'm not looking for clicks. That's why I don't respond to that. Because when Lamar play like I'm gonna say he was awful, and then you hate black quarterbacks, right? So again, it's just one of them, right?
Say about Josh Allen,
yeah, exactly. So I don't. It's the worst. But though that type of reaction was reserved for Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Matthew Stafford, guys that you questioning that guy about and then it's so convenient, and this is the part of our business that I think. Whatever your motivation is, right? You a beat writer for the Ravens or you a television personality, and we get it. In this day and age of let me see if I can get 1 million views or 10 million views and I can go viral, that people will literally conjure up that they believe. Yeah. Now, again, sources, we all around that, right? Yeah. Sources, people that talk, you got inside the building. Let me tell America something about a football locker room. Everybody don't like everybody.
Amen.
Everybody don't get along.
Amen.
Everybody ain't kumbaya. We lie in the media, so y'all don't get in our business, and we handle it quietly. And they've heard us say, winning is the cure-all to everything, right? But when the Lamar thing came up, I thought just the convenience of time was the problem that I had. It's an awful season by the standards of the Baltimore Ravens. And we having a conversation about if he's healthy, should he play?
Right.
So in what world do you want Tyler Huntley to play if Lamar Jackson can go?
Right.
Outside of the world that an article was written questioning his motivation to play football.
Yeah.
Then he come out there and tell the Steelers up, and nobody say nothing.
Yeah.
The dude that wrote it, why I want to know the article about why. I want to see the article about Lamar's performance.
Right.
And since him and Harbaugh and the franchise hate each other, how do you get a guy to perform like that when he hates where he is?
Right.
Anyway, let me get off there because I was about to get going again.
Oh, you good.
But that is the management in an organization that, as a really good head coach, you always have to be alert for those things. Yeah. Right? You had the star of your team got isolated, and somebody said something about him in the media. It blew up. It became this big thing. That's when you find out if your locker room a real locker room, and your coaching staff is a real coaching staff.
You lived it 2 or 3 years ago with Dak in Dallas.
Absolutely.
I mean, and everybody was coming at Dak, man, because he had, he was going to get paid this massive contract, but nobody else had gotten paid yet. Mm-hmm. They all came hunting, and that dude just took it on the chin, man, and just led the organization. Again, you talk about like leadership in the locker room,
bro.
Like Dak Prescott, that dude took
prime example of it.
Owned it, and continued to move on, knowing, hey, coaches might get fired, other players might be gone, but guess what I'm going to do? And he put the best offense around him, bro. It's unreal.
All while Jerry Jones is setting it up to create a show. He to create a show. And then Dak just out there just being the consummate professional.
Bro, Dak threw for 4,500 yards this year. Nobody going to talk about it. Threw for 4,500 yards. And listen, I go back and forth because we all know that ultimately your legacy is going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I just can't handle when even Cowboy fans, he's not that good.
Oh, my God. They have lost their freaking mind.
How hard do you think it is to play this he doing every Sunday?
Oh.
So this is where I get sideways with the Dak conversation because I'm in Dallas, I'm around it. Where he ain't going to never win a Super Bowl. None of them was going to ever win one until they won one.
Thank you.
He's giving you signs that he can.
How many have they won without him? 93.
Yeah.
93. We was kicking out. I was about to start high school.
I was 10.
Come on.
Come on, bro. Like, so again, like it's that type of stuff that go on that, because bring it back, Don. We speaking of coaches, and we talking about like the fragility of it's culture, bro. And I get worried about it in Dallas a lot because I don't think that the head coach word is the word that everybody follows.
Yeah.
That's my issue with that. So on all these hirings that need to be made, I'm going to tell these coaches, man, there better be some connectivity, and don't walk your in there thinking you know more than everybody else.
That's why.
Don't do it.
That's why we got show maxims around here. One of them is always have your on time. Right, Charlie?
Charlie.
No, and on the dot is on the dot. Now, what? 2 minutes late? None of that. Yeah.
Hey,
we also
not 2:32, not 2:31, Charlie. 2:29:57. Start that thing at 2:30. Let's go.
Yeah. Accountability plays. That's what we say around here. You're accountable. You can mess up, put your hand up and take it. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. This was fun.
That was me. My bad.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Can't be too many of my bad, though.
Yeah.
You gotta be, the cutoff is 3.
Defensive tackle, especially pass rush. They kind of take tolerance, tolerance, y'all. That's another conversation. We'll start that another day. Talent. Hey, that ain't for sinners. That ain't for sinners.
Like
I'm gonna let y'all know.
When you and Pay was on that sideline, I had ran out of my meds.
Bring the same level.
Yeah, as in so many other things to get into. I feel like every time we say something, there's like a bunch of different avenues to go down in conversation. I think would be super interesting.
That's probably why we should do a podcast together.
All right. Well, you the one that's busy.
I'm telling you right now, I want
can't catch up with
though.
you.
If we all three gonna do it, I want $100 million.
All right.
And we're gonna hire our own staff because that come out that money too.
Okay. I got it.
We're gonna do this every week.
Every week. But then you're gonna be flying all over the place.
Not for $100 million.
Okay. So,
yeah.
All right. What you talking about?
What? We can do that mug at Jeff Hunt.
You know what I mean?
I will be there.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
We putting it out there right now.
Swamp Donkey beware.
Foxy, Saturday, and Swagoo podcast. Kick. We ain't interviewing nobody if they ain't interested either.
Nah. We just
none of this random.
Swamp Dunk. I got to tell you who Swamp Dunk is. I'll tell you stories. Jeff got to be. Anyway, this is Domonique Foxworth Show. Swagoo, Jeff Saturday.
Bye, y'all.
This may be the first show of many.
Let's go.
Take care, y'all.
Somebody find that money.
Yeah, we coming back. We coming back.
We out.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.